I'm Nahima, and the question that I would like to know about home ownership is if it's easy to find a house somewhere in Atlanta.
It is probably about as hard as it's ever been to find a home if you're looking to buy in Atlanta. Like every city in the country, there is a housing shortage, and that means that the benefits are more to current owners than it is to people looking to buy. The good news is that there are a lot of folks who are working on making sure people can have more opportunity, particularly first-time home buyers. There is an organization called Urban League for Greater Atlanta that has stood up something called the Hub, which is the Homeownership Urban Blueprint. You can Google it or go to the Hub, and it helps you navigate to find, whether you need a certified housing counselor, whether or not you're looking for down payment assistance, or whether or not you're just looking to find a home. It's a great online resource. Urban League for Greater Atlanta is actually hosting a first-time homebuyer expo on June 29th. That's where you can go and think about it like an old college fair or career fair, and you get to go around and meet all the partners, nonprofit home builders, realtors, and realtists who can help you navigate that process. I can't underestimate the value of a realtor or a realtist, not just to help you find a home, but they help you kind of tap into resources that you may not know about. Things like down payment assistance through Atlanta Housing or through your local housing authority, or even through nonprofit partners that can help you buy down that cost of purchasing. They can help you find attractive lenders for your mortgage and really help you navigate what can be a really confusing process and an intimidating one, quite honestly. So great question, and best of luck to all of you out there looking to buy that first home.
What can be done to limit the purchasing of starter homes or first-time homes by corporations?
Atlanta is one of the largest markets for institutional investment in single-family homes. You may have seen a headline that in the first quarter of this year, $1 billion worth of homes were acquired by institutional investors. That means corporations, hedge funds, other generally out-of-town capital sources that are investing in homes. The problem with that is that it means that those homes are not available for first-time home buyers or for someone looking to move up to a larger home. And Atlanta has a significant shortage of housing. You generally want, say, 6 months of supply just to kind of have enough to have what people can choose from. We currently have 2 months of supply, which is up from about 1 month a year ago. So we have a real lack of starter housing. That's what first-time home buyers can afford, in part because so many institutional investors come invest in Atlanta and Georgia. They invest in Atlanta because it's a growing market. They invest in Atlanta because it has relatively affordable home prices compared to a lot of other major markets, but also because we're a really friendly state for property owners. The flip side of that is that we have pretty weak tenant protections. So there are things like rental registries, and the state of Georgia prohibits any city or county from having a registry of who's renting what homes or apartments. And what that means is if you're an institutional investor, no one really knows where you're operating or who you are, and there's the lack of transparency. So one of the issues that could help address the amount of institutional investors is to have stronger tenant protections and to balance that power dynamic between property owners and investors and the folks who live in those homes. It's not unique to Atlanta. You've seen bills come before Congress to address the amount of institutional investment in housing. So I'd encourage folks to reach out to their local officials as well as to their congressional representation on how this is an issue to make sure that homes are available for folks who want to buy them.
Because we run into a lot of people who need help with housing, is where can we direct those people to find the help that they need?
If you're in the city of Atlanta, within the last year, they opened the Housing Help Center, which you can access online. I think it's housinghelpcenter.org. You can go down to 2 Peachtree. In the lobby there is a physical office of the Housing Help Center, or you can call 311. And that'll help you navigate, what your challenge is and what resources are available to help you. If you're not in the city of Atlanta, you can call 211 and through the United Way get access to a number of sources, and there are other things online. Sometimes going online is difficult for folks to navigate, so also always encourage people to reach out to their community partners that are there in their neighborhood, and whether that's a church or another faith-based organization, and they can generally help you make connections to those public resources and community infrastructure.
Once you have your home paid off, is it possible for somebody to actually go into some sort of city records and claim your home?
It seems hard to believe, but there is something called deed theft that is not all that uncommon in Georgia. It's a fraudulent act where someone may falsify their identity and pretend to be you, or they may somehow take out a second mortgage on your home, and so without you knowing it, you suddenly have debt that you didn't know about, and you find yourself in default and at risk of losing your home. There has been a policy response to this in the last year that provides more protections, that you have to show an ID and other things that are written into when you're trying to acquire the deed that help protect people. There are other ways to register your home through an online source that can help you track and make sure that no one's up to no good in trying to claim your home. But it has been a challenge, and it creates a real financial crisis, and of course the loss of home, which is a real tragedy. There are other threats to your home if you inadvertently get behind on your property taxes. If that accumulates over time, your home can be sold at auction. And then there are other ways that you can lose it if you may not have clear title. And if you inherited your home from a parent or a grandparent and it wasn't clearly named on the title that you were the owner, then that can become a challenge of you accessing all of that wealth that you've accumulated through home ownership when you come to sell or extract equity from it in the form of a loan. So lots of great organizations working to help people navigate these very complex issues. Groups like Atlanta Volunteer Lawyers Foundation, like Legal Aid, Georgia Heirs Property, Georgia Appleseed, all great folks to connect with if you find yourself in one of these really challenging predicaments. But also encourage you to connect with your local elected officials to continue to advocate for stronger homeowner protections.